So we're just going to do a little Q&A.
It won't take long. We'll get to the film soon.
All right, so let's start with my first question. So we know in high school that you made a movie called the Dirk Diggler Story, and we just want to know, was that your first film? And we know it was your high school movie. I want to know what that process was like.
It wasn't the first thing that I did, but I suppose it was the first thing that had a title or a story or any length or any kind of, that wasn't just, like getting like we had a Charlie McCarthy doll, and, like one of those things that I used to just do horror films with that, like, yogurt, blood, ketchup. So it was more meaningful than that sort of work, I guess. But yeah, that was at a time when video cameras were kind of a new thing, and you used to have to. I'm gonna sound like an old man now, but you used to have to. Didn't really have editing systems. You had the video camera, and you just had to go to VCR to VCR, that style, and which was great because you really had to guess about where you were going to cut. You kind of, because it wasn't exactly right. So, and every cut that you made was the cut. That was it because you couldn't really go backwards. Yeah.
Do you think you're following the same directing styles and filmmaking styles that you set out from that early age? Do you find yourself doing the same sort of stuff nowadays in terms of how you run the set or so?
VCR to VCR.
Yeah, essentially. I'd heard rumors, but I just wanted confirmation.
It's funny because anything that we're doing now doesn't feel any different. It feels exactly the same as it felt like just trying to muster your friends together, some of which are completely into it, some of which are like half into it. That once they get 100% into it, then it feels great. It's still feels exactly the same, yeah, it's a great question because I remember feeling so excited when we were doing that short film when I was in high school, and then feeling very proud when I finished it and we showed it. But I remember.
Where did you show it?
We showed it at a student film festival, and that happened down at USC. And I remember it so clearly because I'd gotten there, and that was like a 3.5-hour festival. So that was like a big thing. We got there kind of late, and the film came on, and I had no idea if people were liking it or not for the longest time. And then they started laughing, and it was the best feeling. But after that, I had such a melancholy, and I kind of learned then that the best part of it was that camaraderie, that the kind of madness of making it, the excitement of getting your friends together and kind of following this sort of collective insanity for however long it was, a couple of weeks, off and on. That was the most fun about it. Everything else was more or less just a party and a celebration, but the real joy of it was doing it.
So, our next question was what was it learning to you about filmmaking, but I guess it's the camaraderie, and I guess you still work with your friends now, and I mean, I know you use a lot of the same people on all your movies. And
yeah, I mean, but I don't know why you set out, I've always wondered, do you have some drive in you or sort of interest to make films because, maybe because you don't want to get a real job, secretly, or you have something to say, or you feel that you have something to say, you're just not sure how to do it, or maybe because, you know that this art form, the pursuit of it, ideally leads you to other people that are of a similar insanity, really. Hopefully, that's what it is.
You're all insane, all you filmmakers.
Yeah, you are. I mean, really, it's great. If you think about it, it's kind of crazy to go and do, and then all get in a room and show up on a big screen. But it's the best kind of crazy. It's great.
So, so how much was film watching? I assume you watched a lot of films when you were growing up, and a lot of VHS probably. So like, how much was film watching a part, like, of your development as a filmmaker compared to just the drive to go out with your friends and just make something?
It was big. I remember we'd see something, you see a shot in film, and you just run home to get your video camera and figure, like, try to do it. Like, how did they get that, the dynamics out of the camera, or how did somebody do that kind of stuff? You just sort of think that you sort of go home to try to do it yourself, and it's so exciting. It's such a thrill to try to figure it out, because I always found that I couldn't do it, and you're sort of like, oh God, it doesn't feel like that, But in the course of figuring out how it doesn't feel like that, you're discovering other things, that do work, or work for you, or whatever it is. It's one of the great things that I'm sure you've all experienced is the limitations of when you're doing something are the best, because they really make you kind of think on your feet and come up with something. I remember you sort of, when you had the opportunity to make films, sometimes I'd look around and I'd wonder where all this gear was that we'd ordered and we had. You're like, it was just a waste of money, really. And it looked shiny and it looked new, but there was really nothing we could do with it. And then half the time we would pull it out of the case to do something with it, and it would take so long, that you wondered why we weren't working. So it's funny, so many times you hear filmmakers sort of saying something like they want to remember what it was like to make films when they were young, and I think that they're probably talking about the excitement of having limitations, and kind of working within a framework. Anyway.
So we were also curious, so you're talking about how film watching affected you when you were just starting out. To what extent do you think that other films and filmmakers today are affecting the work you're doing?
All the time. I mean, I don't, you feel like you're to be to have the privilege of to do this, to make films, whether you do it for a living or whether you do it as a hobby or both. You swim in you hope for that kind of inspiration that comes from seeing other people's work. I mean, I can remember times where I didn't like it. Maybe I went for a year where I felt like I just wasn't into films. Something else attracted my interest, and then I'll see something. I remember seeing Lost in Translation, and feeling like, my God, I remember why I love film so much. And it's great you have that all the time. Hopefully, you sort of continue to have that. To be excited about other people's work, see somebody do something that you just didn't think was possible. It's so exciting. And more than anything, it's to keep going back to the old films, that and not just from 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but from 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. That's where the treasures are for me mostly, because they're just so classic, and they're so they're so fulfilling when they're good. And there's so many good films, and I think if you have any interest in doing this, you do have a drive to preserve what the history of this thing is that we all like so much.
And you actually, I just have a good segue to another question. You talked about how there were years when maybe film wasn't in front of your focus, what you were most interested in. Do you typically explore other storytelling mediums a lot? Are you writing stuff not for film? Are you painting? Are you doing music?
Well, I try to do all those things. I think there's a reason why I'm not, I'm a pretty good filmmaker, because I'm a horrible piano player. I'm a horrible painter, but I love to write. I love it, and it can be a frustrating pursuit, but incredibly rewarding. And there are times when you just don't want to do it, but I find the discipline to do it. And for a long time I would look for other things to do, and then I think for a while think from time to time I've realized it's okay to absolutely do nothing, to not pursue anything. There's a great piece that I've written about a writer just talking about how valuable it can be to just lie around on the couch and do nothing for a couple of days is okay too, as much as pursuing anything. Don't forget the time that you need to just digest something and zone out and not do anything, because that can be really valuable time. It can be really valuable. Anyway.
Then suddenly it strikes you and you're back on the horse.
That's exactly right, yeah. I mean, I know for myself, I don't know what it's like for other people. I know for myself, I know that I do have discipline to pursue this thing that I like so much. So, no one's going to be harder on me than me. No one's going to have to crack with me to go back to work, do this thing. But it is really good to take a break from it so that, like you said, you kind of feel energized to do it again. Because hopefully it's fun, and hopefully it takes a lot out of you, and hopefully it is draining. That should be the best. It should hopefully feel like you ran a marathon after you did it, and just jump up and down for joy that you crossed the finish line. It's so much fun to do this.
So who do you think you ultimately make films for? Who or what?
Well, it would be impossible for me. It would be impossible for me to think. I think a lot when I'm writing about my friends and my family closest to me, because it's a small enough group that I can kind of keep them close by to me, and I want to hear what they have to say. Anything bigger than that would be hard to write for. I write for myself, to make myself happy. It's a joyous experience. I write because I want to entertain my friends and my family. And ultimately, I write because, at the end of it, there is nothing more exciting than we're going to have tonight, than sitting here. When the lights go down and those films come up, it's going to be great. It's just going to be the best.
You want to do one more?
I think we do a few.
Okay. Do we have time? I hope so.
I hope it doesn't end.
Okay. Okay. So, Paul, something you'll...
Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
The two of us? Yeah, soon to be. We need nice thinner microphones.
Speaking drunk up here, I tell you one story.
Yeah. I'm trying my hardest, saying it and not freak out. Okay, so Paul, you'll notice in the films tonight that a lot of the students heavily utilize music. Music is a big part of a lot of the works tonight. You'll see music videos, you'll see experimental pieces centered around music, and in narrative work you'll see music as a central aspect. And the music that you use in your films is very defining and very interesting, and it seems like you think a lot about the music that you're going to use from film to film. What do you see as, or I guess you could try to articulate, the role of music in filmmaking for you?
Well, they're all so tied together. That's what's so wonderful about movies. We're not saying anything new here. That's what's great about film, is they have everything. They have music, and they have literature, they have drama, acting, and all of those things, and they have film. And the only thing that makes film unique is editing. So they're all cousins and sisters of each other, these things, these artistic pursuits. And I suppose that when I can remember, when I was making films in high school, I did use lots of music. I suppose it was because I just loved music. I probably loved music maybe more than I loved film, but I wasn't musical, so I didn't really know how to play it. I didn't focus when my parents told me to focus on the piano, and I regret that now. But I focused towards what drew me, which was these cameras. That was the thing that drew me. So, I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but I suppose people gravitate towards those instruments that they gravitate towards, the same way somebody would go to piano, or violin, or a typewriter. You know, I kept going to a camera as much as I was listening to probably more records than I was watching movies. So somewhere in the middle, these things meet, and you just sort of start to realize, well, they're all just cousins of each other. You know, so however it ends up happening, and kind of working is how it works. Your pursuit of it, your use of it, your enjoyment of it. It's wonderful too, you know. I don't know, there's something better than watching people's covers of songs on YouTube too. That's
I love it.
pastimes, you know.
You mean just guys with guitars doing pop songs?
That's one thing, but even watching other people make music videos for songs, you know. That, I mean, it's so much better than probably, you know, all of the $1 million videos that were made through the early 90s. I mean, my God. So anyway, yeah.
I think that's what's interesting about a night like tonight. You see how different filmmakers integrate music and editing and everything, and that's why it's great to see all these different works.
I think it too, it teaches you just, you know, it helps you with editing too, probably. Just if you can feel out rhythm and things like that. I mean, they're so tied together. They're great. They're great brothers, movies and music, and they always have been from the beginning. You know, it wasn't enough to just show this silent thing flickering. You know, we needed a piano player. Roll the piano in and play along. So they've always been tied together. It's hard to imagine one without the other.
There's a film in the screen tonight which is a music video, and the real music video for it was one of like the most popular music videos this year, and I would say like the one here even compares to that. So it's pretty impressive.
Right.
It's pretty wonderful.
So like we should have one more question. So we're a California-based film festival, and everyone here, everyone submitted is from California, and we know you're from California too. This is where you grew up, so we just want to know how this environment just shaped who you are, shaped your artistic sensibility, shaped anything.
Well, it certainly shaped, my whole life. It's so exciting to hear the whole state of California. It's great. It's great. We have a great state, don't we? It's great. It's so exciting, and I think I don't know. You know, I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and you know, yeah. People booing. And you know, some of the films that I've made, try to tell a story of the place where I grew up, I suppose, and the things that I saw. And you know, it sort of seems to me, I've always responded to work that was personal and felt honest. It felt like you were watching somebody tell you a story that they knew something about, that they felt that they could they had something to say. And those films or those books usually sort of revolved around a place. And I remember when I read East of Eden in high school, last year in high school, I remember feeling like it's okay to be from, and you can write a story about California. This is so exciting, you know. Before that, I remember feeling like, oh, I should be from New York, you know, or you know, something like this. You sort of always wish you're from somewhere else until you sort of realize that where you're at and the stories you might be able to tell from where you're from are incredibly valuable. Yeah.
I think we're going to conclude with that. We want to say thank you again to Paul for coming.
I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me and having me here. I can't tell you how I was nervous when they asked me, and I've been so excited for the week leading up to this. I can't tell you, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
So we're gonna start the show now. Enjoy.